Hello and welcome back to Wireman's Whimsy. Today we are going to make this bookbinding fold card. I haven't put anything on the inside. Now you absolutely can, but I left both surfaces for writing on. But you could put a little sprig of leaves in here if you wanted to, for sure. I am using designer series paper from the Masterfully Made set, and it has got some really neat background. I don't know if you can see in the video, but it's got the sprigs on it, and then it's got like newsprint in behind. So I chose to use the time-worn type embossing folder to go along with it, so it kind of mimics the type on the designer series paper. So I'm using the Layering Leaves set and the Bough Punch, and I've written that down there, and my sizes are all here, but I'll go through it as I make it. I kind of made this one on the fly. I really wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with it. So, but what we need is we need our cardstock, and we're going to make a landscape card. I'm just going to move some things out of the way, so it'll get a little messy here for a minute. And where's my paper trimmer? Okay, so to do a landscape card, we are going to cut the designer series paper long ways. So I'm going to cut it at 4 1/4. So I'll have 11 by 4 1/4. So we'll cut that like that. And then we're going to score it at 5 1/2, just like we normally would if we were folding the card in half, which we're going to do. So I'm just going to score it at 5 1/2, and then I need to come in again by, I think I did 1 1/4. I'm just trying to think now what I did. So I did have it written down, but now I can't remember. So let me just measure this one out here. If all else fails, just measure it again. So I came into 1 1/4. So I'm going to score again. This is my one fold here. I'm going to score again 1 1/4. So I scored at 5 1/2. So 1 inch would be 4 1/2, and another quarter is 4 1/4. And I did this so that I have an exact square, 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 on the front of the card. So this card I did on a white card base, and I thought I'd see how it would look on the fresh Freesia card base. So I'm just going to use my bone folder, put that down. I'm going to just bend this back. You can completely score it so it folds if you want, but you don't have to. So that's my card base, 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2, and then again at 1 1/4. And then we need a piece of designer series paper cut to 4 by 4, so it mats in the middle like that. We're going to need another piece of cardstock, and I chose to match my background, and 1 inch by 4 inch, so it mats in just like that. And I have run this through the time-worn type folder as well, so it gets just a little bit of texture there. Then we need a center, and I'm going to do mine in the basic white, cut 3 by 3, and I've also run that through the time-worn type folder. And we're using the Bough Punch and the stamps. So I haven't cut any of mine out with the punch yet, because I wanted just to show you how you can maximize the use of it. And this is going to be really tight, but I'm going to also show you how I did the flowers or the leaves. So I'm using soft seafoam for the leaves. I'm just going to put that right down on top of there. And I'm going first value here. And now I just need to turn my punch up to make sure that I'm stamping the right way. Yes, I am. Okay. So I'm going to just set that down like that. And then I'm going to come in second value. You can get 2 or 3 colors even, just different tones out of 1 ink pad. So I'm just going to line this up Again, it's second value, so it just very faintly fills in the background. Just gives that hint of color to the leaves without being overwhelming. So we need to punch now. So I've got all of my pieces here to punch, and you'll notice that I checked which way the leaves were going before I put them in the punch. There we go. So we've punched that out. What you'll see with this is there's punching two things at the same time. So I was careful that I didn't actually end up punching things out that I needed to keep. So it's just about kind of knowing what you're punching out. Here we go. There's another set of flowers, and I'm just going to wiggle in like this. Sorry, I realize I'm not in frame, and I'm just going to punch these ones like that. And you'll notice that my waste paper, like what I already punched, is going into the next punch, but I've already got what I need to out of it, so it's not going to matter. I'm going to punch that out like that. So I've got my 3 flowers done in fresh freesia. Now see, this is where I now need to punch this, so I'm just going to trim this piece off so that I can fit this in and punch it out. And if you find that you haven't left yourself quite enough room to hold on to the paper and punch it out, you just add another piece of paper to the end. Just temporarily stick another piece of paper onto the end of the piece you're cutting out, and then you can just go ahead and cut. Okay, so this one even is just a little shy, but there's enough for me to hold on to, but it's a little bit too big. So again, I'm just going to trim this off. So I chose not to do all the cutting out. Quite often I'll cut everything out and then just build the card, but I wanted to show you the process of using the punch and how to not punch out what you have already like in your image that you want to keep. So basically now we just need to build this card. So I am going to flat mount the designer series paper. Isn't that cute? Like that would look really nice on the card front, just like that as well, and then a greeting across it. I wanted to do something slightly less busy on this one, so I am doing the more subtle version, and I haven't glued down my bookbinding edge yet for a very specific reason, and that is because I want to put ribbon on it. So I'm just going to, again, flat mount going on here, and it's just layering color on color. It just gives it that little bit of extra oomph. So I'm just going to put some adhesive on here, and I've got some of the fresh freesia open weave ribbon, and I'm just going to put that just right in the middle like that, wrap it around. Oh, I'm not actually in the middle, so we're just going to move that over and wrap it round and just tack it down like that. Okay, now I can go ahead and just add adhesive. I'm just adding adhesive inside the folded piece so that I can stick this down and it stays folded. So this piece is now closed. I'm just going to slip another piece of ribbon in and just tie it. You can make this a bow if you want to. I'm just going to tie it in a half knot, just like that. And you can slide it down a bit if you want. So it kind of almost like a bookmark there. Now, I dimensionalized this piece on because I really wanted the center of the card to stand out. So which way am I? I'm this way. So I just put 4 dimensionals on. You can put more on if you want to, but I just put 4 on. So I'm just going to peel this off like this. And again, as always, you can do this in whatever colorway you want, whatever paper you like. and whatever colorway you want. This would be really cute if you did it in white and used gold ribbon as an engagement card or a anniversary card. You could use gold embossing powder on it. So I'm going to put my greeting just about there. So knowing that, I'm going to put some adhesive on here, and I'm going to attach my pieces of greenery like that. Okay, and then I'm going to add those little fresh freesia pieces that I cut out earlier, and just add them in like that. And if you run out of adhesive, you just add more. See, this is not really stuck down, so I'm just going to add some more adhesive, and we're going to go ahead and stick that back down again. And can I stick this one in here like that? Yes, I can. And I'm dimensionalizing this piece as well. So knowing that it's going to go here, I'm going to put a dimensional in that top corner, just so it helps hold all those pieces down as well. And then we're just going to put it in here, center it edge to edge, and then so we've covered up the adhesive that we put on underneath, and that is our card. So you can put, again, as many pieces of, as many leaves or as many flowers, anything you like in. You can do it on a white card base, or you can do it on the same color card base as your accent. So whichever appeals to you. So thank you so much for watching, and let's create together again soon.